So, guys, here we are again. MMA UK News. Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So, talking about SGI10, Saturday, the 7th of May. And that's going to be at the usual place, Maryhill Community Halls in Glasgow. Now, again, we talked about the venue. Anybody that's ever been at the venue before for any combat sport event, whether it be grappling, MMA, boxing, or whatever. It's an unbelievable venue. I'd say very, very close knit. The spectators are on top of the action. So the spectators always love an SGI event, and I'd say the grapplers themselves love being on the show as well. So it's going to be a little bit more special this time. We're going to have pay-per-view at this one. So the last 9 events have been building up to this event. So we're eventually going to have pay-per-view. There's going to be commentators. Obviously, yours truly we'll be saying a lot of good stuff about all these grapplers on the night. And I'm obviously going to have a sidekick, a partner in crime, is going to be with me. So that's going to be absolutely special to do. The fighters are going to come out to their own music, which all these grapplers absolutely love to do. So it gets their adrenaline going, blood pumping, gets the crowd going as well. So pay-per-view details are all on Scottish Grappling. So head over to their Facebook page. You'll be able to get the details there. And if you are going to be there on the night, the tickets are available. So again, head over to Scottish Grappling, get your tickets directly through there. Make sure you do choose your chosen fighter, because obviously the grapplers themselves are going to get a bit of commission from the ticket sales, which is always good to put some money back in the grapplers' pockets. So my next guest is an SGI veteran. So has he been on the show before? And we always, as I said, we always love seeing Ciaran coming over. Even though I know we spoke about the island, the team island. I did tell everybody to message Ciaran about it, but I don't think anybody did. So yeah, Ciaran Brohan, T45 Jiu-Jitsu, so Team Ryano in Cork. So you're going to be up against Dominic Dillon, Elements Martial Arts in Brighton. So this is a #1 contender match. The winner is going to be taking on Jordan Cooper. So I did say Shawnee Stewart earlier on in the night, but Shawnee Stewart is the Evolution of Combat champion. So it's going to be up against Jordan Cooper, hopefully at some point later in the year. So Ciaran, absolute pleasure as always talking to you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's always good to be on this show, and then on SGI. It's either my third or fourth time on SGI now at this stage. So I think it's my third.
Yeah, I think as your fourth would have been that we mentioned the Team Island. So
on Ireland show.
You fought on that as well, yeah. You did fight on that, so they got you a fight on it. So, but obviously the Team Island, we were looking forward to the team coming over, but unfortunately, obviously, things got in the way, so we unfortunately couldn't do it. But hopefully that's another show. Hopefully we can get Team Island over on another show.
Yeah, just don't let me be the captain, because I'm not being responsible for that ever again.
It was tough. I remember speaking to Ben Robson. Obviously, Ben had a team put together, and then obviously the team kind of fell apart. And then I know that Ellis Younger stepped in. Ellis Younger was an honorary Welshman that night, stepped in for Ben Robson.
His great gran is Welsh, I think.
So yeah, I mean, it was an awesome event, as in a team event, and it's tough. I remember speaking to Ben, and Ben was like, "This is an absolute nightmare having a team and keeping the team together."
Yeah, that was the problem. Is like we had my initial team was fairly like solid, and then people just got like between injuries and just people having kind of other stuff going on. I think was it the same weekend as Pans or something as well. I have an awful feeling there was something else on, and yeah, it just kind of fell apart. It was I think the week of it was supposed to be 2 of us, me and Keith Kavanagh were supposed to go over in the end, and I think Keith Kavanagh got food poisoning like 2 days before the event or something. So like it was just it was a mess. So I was the only member of Team Ireland who actually made it to the event. So yeah, it's all right. It happens. Like
it does. But hopefully, as we can see it again. And yeah, hopefully we get the 4 nations put together again at some point in the future. So, so what about you then? Obviously, training wise, so obviously you're kept busy. I mean, we always talk about the lockdown. Obviously, the lockdown's done now. I know I had a little bit of an issue getting over to Ireland for Grapple Kings, but that wasn't the Irish government's fault. That was Ryanair's fault. So
yeah.
But
no, I just keep him busy, to be honest. Like I'm trying to balance like coaching duties and like, you know, gym duties and taking weekends off from time to time with competing. You know, I've kind of a bit more on my plate, I think, than I used. So like competing every second weekend or every weekend, it's not really something I can kind of manage at the moment. So I've accepted it's like one a month is kind of a fair kind of
yeah,
like a fair amount for what I'm able. Like it's keeping me busy, it's keeping me active. I'm trying to take like, you know, get into tournaments, get into sub only shows like this, but just one a month, just keep me active. Because I think the biggest problem is like um when I had my first match back after all of the lockdowns, it was actually I think it was Jack when I fought Jack Ciaran Polaris was my first match
yeah,
back after a year and a half of not competing. And I know people say that like that whole ring rust or whatever, it's not real. It definitely was. Like I
yeah,
definitely my first two matches back were just crap. And then, you know, the last two since then, or three since then. So I've fought like, you know, I had Jay Butler on Grapple Fest, then I had Marcus Phelan in the Cork Open randomly, just jumped in for a match with Marcus. So like again, two really high level black belts to fight against.
yeah,
And I've slowly found like my rhythm is coming back a bit more, and I'm starting to kind of like, you know, feel like myself competing again.
yeah,
And that's kind of the goal. It's like, you know, I'm not planning on just, you know, competing so much that the gym starts falling apart, but I'm competing enough that I'm staying active and, you know, starting
yeah,
to get that competition. What you call it? I don't even know what it is. Just that focus and like, you know, the kind of the flow almost. It's like a different, like, you know when someone's competing a lot because they're moving like they're moving with like purpose and stuff. Whereas
yeah,
if I'm not competing, I just lose that completely.
yeah, yeah. Even once a month, though, I mean, that's still consistent. Because obviously people talk about, no, like we talked about ring rust, obviously being out for what, almost 18 months, nearly 2 years. So, but obviously keeping in once a month, you're still consistent, you're
Hmm.
still getting out there training, and you're still able to put what you practice and learn in the gym, you're still able to put it in practice in competition.
Yeah, and it's like part of it is like pushing myself. Like, you know, I don't want to take matches where it's like, you know, I'm kind of the favorite, or matches that I kind of, you know 100% that I'm going to smash this person. I try to
Yeah,
take matches that like kind of make me, if it's not making me nervous, then I'm not really as interested in doing it. Like, you know,
yeah,
the last couple of matches I've taken have been ones that I've been like, you know, I could win this, but I also, you know, could also easily lose if things don't go well.
yeah,
So I'm trying to push myself, especially like I'm a young black belt. I'm only 5 months, 6 months since I got my black. So my
yeah,
goal really is just to kind of like, you know, try to, I suppose, season that black belt a little bit and take those matches. You
yeah,
know, there's no major pressure on me. You know, it's just trying to take that, just gain that experience. Like, you know, anyone I've been fighting is like more experienced than me for the most part. But, you
yeah,
know, that's
yeah,
the way I like it.
yeah. And that's one thing. I mean, you'll, if it's challenging, if it's a challenging match for you, you're 100% up for it because you know yourself that there's some people out there that, do you know what I mean, they'll get given a name or put you in against this guy, and they'll knock it back, and then whereas you, if it's challenging for you, you're 100% up for it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, and you know, the rematch with Dom is something I've been like excited about for a while because, you know, I do have a loss against him pre-COVID, pre all the
Yeah,
lockdowns. It was actually a brilliant match. It went to distance. I think I lost on, it was either a split decision or a decision, but it was
yeah.
like we basically had, I think, two sub attempts apiece, and I stupidly got bored halfway through the match and stood up with Dom, and he double legged me into next week. And like I still to this day think that's what like sealed the deal on his part. So it was a good,
Yeah,
like, it was a closer match. Like it was a very close match. So like, you
yeah,
know, I'm just excited. Like I think we've a very mismatched styles in a way, because like he's very, you know, he's not really your standard black belt, and like he does a lot of like unorthodox stuff, where, and then I have this like, you know, very leg lock kind of orientated spinning upside down doing mad stuff game. So it's a very kind of weird dynamic. So it should be an interesting rematch, you know.
yeah. Dom said he's got two moves, a double leg and a Kimura, and that's
Mm.
him. So
Yeah, I won't be wrestling him this time. You know, I've been working on the wrestling, but like, you know, I know when I'm beat. So
yeah, yeah. He's obviously got a little bit more in the arsenal than a double leg and a Kimura, but yeah, that's what he said. That's his two moves. Everybody knows he's doing them two moves, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then, what about you? Obviously, the matchup. So again, we spoke to Dom earlier. Said the matchup was pretty much made by you two.
Yeah,
It was made by you and Dom.
Yeah, I think we both have like won our last two matches on SGI fairly convincingly. Like I think we both subbed our last opponents fairly handily. I think in less than 3-4 minutes each.
Yeah.
And like I think the two of us are just basically kind of like we were joking afterwards, like we were messaging each other the day after, basically like when are we going to fight for the belt kind of. And then I think I don't know, did Dom say it to James or did I say it to James? But I kind of jokingly said it to James, being like, "I'll take Dom if the belt is going." And basically, then James got back to us saying, "How about a number one contenders match, for the shot against Jordan Cooper for the title?" So Jordan Cooper, as well, is a rematch of mine. I've a split decision loss to him on Grapple Fests 4 or 5, which again was a really really good match. So I'm kind of like, there's two people I have a bone to pick with. So, I have a list. I have a list, and they're both on my list.
Nice, nice, and it makes sense. I mean, you two are two exciting under 70 kilo guys, especially at especially at SGI. Coming up to SGI, you two are definitely two of the top under 70s that we've seen on SGI. So it makes sense. Obviously, you two going at it, and the winner obviously takes on the champ.
Yeah, definitely, and like yeah, it should just be a fun match all around. To be honest, I think like me and Dom, like I know there's a bit of like piss taking, crap talking going on between us, but it's like, we are friends like behind the scenes. There's no bad vibes. It's it should be a good match.
Yeah. That's the good thing. I always love that. I mean, jiu-jitsu is one of these things. As I say, don't get me wrong, there is some dicks out there, right? But for the most part, everybody's friendly. Everybody knows each other. Everybody knows you. We talked about this, saying that Ciaran, a lot of people have never met Ciaran, but he spoke to everybody through Messenger, through Facebook, and stuff like that.
I just get bored when I'm sitting on my ass sometimes, and I just like messages. And,
Yeah.
it's a miracle I don't get in trouble with the amount of shit I talk. So
Listen, that's what we love about you. That's what we love about you. As I said, we always love seeing you. We always love it whenever a comment goes up and then you jump in the comment. Usually, again, we talked about James Coggs. Every time Cogsy puts a message up, you're in there. Every time you put a message up, he's in there. And as I said, it's absolutely brilliant banter going back and forward. And as it's all love, because obviously we all enjoy each other's company. We always love seeing each other and chatting with each other and stuff like that. But we'll also slag each other off something rotten back and forward.
yeah. Me and Cogs basically like met through Laura, and we're now just like we probably talk to each other more than he talks to Laura. So she's just been shoved to the side. Me and Cogs just like talking shit to each other.
Yeah. Are you going to be staying with Cogs when you're over again?
No, he's actually going to be doing the Masters Euros in Barcelona. So I'm going to be crashing. I think we got it either an Airbnb or a hotel somewhere kind of central enough. So I trusted Laura. She lived in Scotland for a while, so she knows it better than I do.
Right.
I get an apartment in a dodgy area or something.
Hopefully she's got you somewhere nice then. Hopefully somewhere nice. But I'm sure it is. I'm sure it will be. And then what about you then? What's your plans this year then, Ciaran? So obviously SGI is going to be one of your main focuses. Obviously, once that's done, what do you see yourself doing going forward?
So I have like SGI is the next one. Then I have sub super fights in June. There's a 4-man title fight tournament thing. So it's me, Neil Atkins, Tom Tovey, and some other black belt whose name is escaping me. So that should be a good little 4-man. I'm not sure the format. Like I don't really know. I haven't really asked too much about how it'll run. So must go ask and find out how that's going to work. I'm assuming they'll have us fight the first round earlier in the card, and then the final match will be later in the card or something. So I'll be doing that. Then to be honest, then after, so that's June, July, I have nothing planned yet. But so like I basically am kind of keeping it open for like, if anything does come up. And then I'll probably jump in. If not, I'll jump into something like Grappling Industries, or just try to. Again, I'm trying to find a balance. Like I don't like, if I'm like, when my team are competing,
Yeah.
I try not to compete myself, because or like if there's a few of my team competing, because I'm like cornering, and then I'm trying to jump between coach mode and competitor mode, and it's just like, I find it's just too mental overload for me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to kind of find that balance. So I might just just go away for a weekend and compete myself. I'd like to maybe get a bit of um do a few IBJJF, especially adult nogi, because I'm allowed to do heel hooks and stuff now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um, I might jump in and just try get. I haven't done any IBJJF since I got my black belt, so it'd be good to kind of, even in the gi, I want to just get some experience. So
Yeah.
this is the biggest thing, right? Basically, since I got my black belt, I think I've done the opposite to what some people do. I've just basically said, all right, I got my black belt. Let's try to get as much experience as I can. I think some people get their black and they're just kind of like, right, I got the black. I don't have to really compete anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to be on Grapple Kings end of the year? Team
Yes, yeah,
Ireland?
yeah. So I actually, but me and my big mouth basically started talking shit to Ash Williams' brother Josh,
Yep.
and he said that if Wales beat England, that he'd take the match against me. So that would
Yep.
be like a brilliant match. It's him. He's one of the under 70 guys I've been kind of like, itching to have a match with. I know he's kind of dealing with an injury at the moment,
Yeah.
so like it would be, but I would love to have the opportunity to have a match with him.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm basically whoever. If Adrian has someone in mind for me from England or Wales, I'll happily jump in.
Yeah.
Um, like I love, like, Grapple Kings has been a really good show. I think it was my second time. Is it my second time on it? I think it was my second time on Grapple Kings. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I fought Tom Tovey, who I didn't know at the time. I actually hadn't a clue who he was, but it turns out he's actually, like, legit as they come. But
Yeah.
that was a good fun match as well. So
Yeah.
like, I think the biggest thing with Grapple Kings, I've never had a boring match on the show.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's kind of my biggest thing, is I always try to have a fun match. I don't like having um I don't really care if I lose. I just, as long as the match is fun, then I'm
Yeah.
happy. And as long as I don't get tapped in 20 seconds and end up on a highlight reel. That's the only, if it goes over 2 minutes, I'm kind of like, okay, if I get tapped now, I'm not going to be on a highlight reel somewhere.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. That's what you mentioned about Josh Williams. Obviously, that'd be a great matchup. But then, obviously, Team Wales need to get through Team Ireland first. So,
Team England.
sorry, England. Sorry,
Yes,
Team England first.
that's
So
in June or something. Is that
July, yeah,
yeah.
23rd of July down in Southampton. So, so it's going to be an awesome event. It'll be good to see. Obviously, when the matchups start coming out. So it will be good. I know that they mentioned, obviously, they've got Ash Williams up against Dom, 23rd of July. So it'll be good to see them bringing out more and more matches. So, and then Adrian will need to keep up with me putting out the all the videos again. So, so but yeah, it's going to be a great event. Great event. We always love Grapple Kings, and then Grapple Queens as well. Obviously in September. Obviously all
Yeah,
female show as well. So
yeah, that should be good. I think my so like Laura and some of the girls from my gym, we have quite a strong girls team.
yeah.
So I think they're planning on taking a trip up to see it. Whenever, well, I can't. When is October?
I think
It's
it's September. September they
September.
were talking, yeah.
September. So
So
yeah, and I
um,
think Phoebe, my friend, I don't know, is it confirmed, but I think she said something that she may be on it.
yeah,
Me and Phoebe are friends from when I was a blue belt and she was a white belt, like, and so she's like, we're like known each other years. So if she's competing, I'll probably take the trip up to corner her, because
yeah,
I'm not sure will her coach be traveling over. So if
yeah,
she's up for corner, I'll and someone to warm up with as well, because we're the same kind of weight as well.
yeah. Listen, it'll be great to see. And see some of the top female grapplers from all over going to be, and again having an all female show, which it's unbelievable. They're going to be able to put a whole show on live on Flow Grappling and stuff like that as well. So, so yeah, it's going to be an entertaining night that as well. And the women put on better fights than the men sometimes. We saw that with Rosa Walsh. Obviously, our last two, Rosa's last two grapple fests, obviously got the fight of the night with Nadine Tavares, and then obviously the last one she was absolutely awesome at as well. So, so yeah, the women definitely put on a better fight than the men.
Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know, it's something like their mentality is different or something. I think it's like it all depends on like your mentality with those matches. Like it's like, how do you want, like you can go out and try win, or you can
Yeah.
go out and try like, you know, just be like have a good match. And like I think they're sometimes not the same thing.
Yeah. So we're definitely looking forward to that. And then final thing for you then, Ciaran. So obviously, again, we you say thank you to everybody all the time we say so, but anybody you want to shout out to, family, friends, teammates, sponsors, anything like that.
Yeah, I suppose just the usual, like thanks to the guys in T45 and Team Ryano. Like there's been like some, myself, Evan Reed and Ryan Mangan have started a little training group together. We meet
Yeah.
up once a month to train. So like, you know, that's been a massive benefit, and something that I've kind of maybe been lacking in the last while is having, you know, high level sub only guys to roll with.
Yeah.
And we've all kind of like started like, you know, sparking off each other and getting, you know, some good rounds in once a month. The guys in T45, the level is absolutely ridiculous. They're getting so good. There's some of the white and blue belts are smashing me. Some nights I go home wanting to hang up my black belt. But like, you know, it's all part of the environment. They're all like, you know, really like, there's some really young, hungry guys there that are just, you know, they're just mad for road.
Yeah.
Then I suppose just thanks to the usual sponsors, Scramble Ireland, Scramble UK, Improved Grappling, and the Skidmore Clinic Physio, because I've been in and out of there so many times in the last while, just tuning me up and fixing stupid little aches before they become actual serious problems.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's everyone. I can't think of anyone else.
Oh, he's forgot someone.
Thanks,
He's...
Laura and Cogs and
I was going to say Laura. I was going to say Laura.
oh, yeah, well, she knows, she gives out to me all the time, but she knows that, like, you know, the wheels would come off fairly quickly if she wasn't involved. So
No, definitely. Well, listen, I'm absolutely buzzing to see you over again. So, as I always love seeing you, Ciaran. As you definitely come in a great style, a really good style, very technical as well. And it's always a joy to watch you. Always a joy. So, win, lose, or draw, as I said, you are always entertaining. So, we're definitely looking forward to seeing you next month. So, there we go, guys. We're going to have Ciaran Brohan, T45 Jiu-Jitsu. So that's Team Ryano. Up against Dominic Dillon. I nearly forgot the name there. So Dominic Dillon, Elements Martial Arts in Brighton. So Saturday the 7th of May, SGI10. Tickets are available through Scottish Grappling, and anybody that can't make the event that night, make sure you get the pay-per-view. As it's the first time there's going to be pay-per-view, so it's going to be awesome. People are going to get to see the whole card from start to finish. So Ciaran, listen, absolute pleasure, as always.
cheers for having me on, Stu. Always good to
No,
see you.
yeah, definitely. And we look forward. See you next month, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your training, okay?
Cheers, thank you.
Take care, mate.